Every successful practice has a moment no one brags about. It's a miss, a mistake, a setback. Fail Forward is a short series where dentists and practice owners share the failure that forced them to grow and the change that made everything better. This is where progress really begins.
Hi, this is Lisa with Unlock the PPO. I love the Fail Forward theme that Michael's come up with for 2026. I think it's really important for everybody to share what worked, but more importantly, what didn't work and how they recovered. I would say for 2026, one of the most important things, and this applies to established practices as well as startups, is the dynamic of shared networks. Everybody has a general sense that there are shared networks. Really, all the primary national carriers except for Delta have a relationship with at least one other national network in most states. Some have many, many relationships. What we found in 2025 was that there were significantly more new shared network announcements in that single year than we've seen in the last decade combined. What's happening is doctors may not realize this is occurring, and unbeknownst to them, a carrier that they had been, say, getting a $1,000 crown on, all of a sudden dropped to an $800 crown. Why? Because there was another contract path sitting there in their practice with a lower fee schedule, and that carrier has now added a relationship with this original network. The carriers will shift to the lowest payment possible if they can. Now, how do you stop that? Carriers should be sending out notifications to dental offices saying this is coming up. But typically it's more of a happy birth announcement type notification. Great news, we've added 1 million people to the network. You need to know that in most cases, you have the ability to say no thank you. So it's going to be really critical is for your front desk to be the keeper of the gates. If you do not subscribe to the newsletters, e-notifications from carriers that you might participate with already, you need to do that so that you get those notifications. And when those notifications come in, your front desk needs to stop and say, first of all, they need to notify you. You need to, number one, decide, do I even want this network if you're not in the network now? Secondarily, am I already in this network? And is this giving this network an avenue to pay me less? If either of those things are true, what you need to do is you need to reach out to the carrier, you need to request to opt out, close the door to that new network relationship to keep your contracting where you wanted it to be. Now, we've built on our website an education library, and we've been adding links with some short videos just explaining each of these new ones that have been popping up simply because there have been so many. You might feel, and your front desk might feel, that they're playing whack-a-mole, where all of a sudden one network is shifted to one carrier path, and you block that, and now it's shifted to another carrier, and you block that. You need to assume that this dynamic will continue. So where can you fail? You can fail by not paying attention to who's paying you, how much they're paying you, and how they're paying you. It's going to be very critical for you to put in place in your practice a quarterly check where you ask your front desk to provide you with a single EOB from each network that you participate with through some path or another. It doesn't have to have specific codes. It just has to be a single EOB. Spot check it to see, is it still paying correctly based on the contracting paths you've chosen and the fee schedule you have in your practice management software. These new shared relationships can be helpful if they add you to a network you wanted to be in but hadn't picked up, and you're getting a strong fee schedule for that. They can be very damaging to a practice if they give the carrier a path to pay you less than they had been paying you before without you knowing it and without your front desk alerting you to it. So keep an eye on those shared relationships and stay on top of it.
Before you move on, write down your own fail forward moment, the one that changed how you think, lead, or decide today. And if you're willing, share it inside our Facebook group, the Dental Marketers Society Facebook group. There's going to be a link in the show notes below. And your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear.